Hello, everybody. Leonard Hitz here again. This is my TED Talks assignment. Um, for this assignment, I don't think that I had really ever watched any of the TED Talks presentations. I think over the last several days, I've probably watched 10 or 15. That's probably a discussion for another time, though. So, uh, video that we all watched, Sir Robinson, what he was trying to communicate, I believe, in his speech was how he felt that the public education system throughout the world really was stifling the creativity of our youth. A topic that I had not really ever spent much time thinking about before his speech. So I think that he made several interesting points throughout his presentation. I think he did a very effective job at using tools like examples, anecdotes, and stories. He did a very effective job during his speech. He was able to keep the audience engaged throughout his speech by using humor. He also used stories very effectively. Towards the end of his presentation, he told a story about Gillian Lynn, a ballerina, choreographer, actress, and director. I think that story was extremely effective in getting across his idea of how the education system really destroys creativity in young people. So I think that Sir Robinson did a very effective job with his speech. So the second video that I watched was Ms. Adichie. Not even gonna try and pronounce her first name. And we had two choices of videos to watch. I chose The Danger of a Single Story for this assignment, although I did go on and watch her other video a little bit later. But during her presentation, The Danger of a Single Story, I believe Ms. Adichie did a great job at using her personal experiences throughout her speech to help make her points. And I feel that she did a pretty good job with that presentation. And so, uh, what TED Talks is and what purpose does it serve in our communities? TED Talks, obviously, a video podcast speakers forum where people can come and discuss a range of topics, really from global issues to entertainment. I think that it is a very useful tool in any community, really, because it's ability to disseminate ideas, get people thinking. So I think that TED Talks is really a very interesting forum. I know that, like I said earlier, I ended up watching several more videos than what was required in our assignment. So um, I found that I really enjoy the TED Talks. So the third video that I watched was a gentleman named John Graham. Uh, the presentation that he made was The Greatest Machine That Never Was, and the topic of his speech was about a machine that was designed in the 1830s by a gentleman named Charles Babbage. And essentially, it was a programmable mechanical computer that, well, obviously, by the title of the presentation, it never was actually built, but several of the components were built, and there were designs for the entire machine. So It was a very interesting video, and I think that John Graham did an excellent job at choosing his topic. I feel that the origins of the computer is probably a pretty interesting topic to a lot of people because just about everybody uses a computer of some sort on a daily basis. So I think that it was an excellent topic. I really enjoyed watching the video. And Mr. Graham also did a very good job throughout his speech with the use of visual aids, particularly a slideshow to help explain his topic throughout his speech. So I think that that was a very good video as well. And so the fourth video I watched was George Monbiot. Probably not pronouncing that correctly, but George is an advocate for large-scale restoration of complex natural ecosystems. I think that's a topic that probably a lot of people are interested in these days. And during his presentation, George used examples of wolves being reintroduced into Yellowstone National Park here in the United States, as well as whale populations throughout the oceans of the world. So it was actually a very interesting topic. I'll focus on his example of the reintroduction of wolves into Yellowstone. He went into quite a bit of detail discussing a topic that a lot of people might not find interesting, but I feel that the way that he presented the information would have done a very good job at keeping just about anybody interested in the topic that he was discussing. So he explained how the reintroduction of wolves into Yellowstone in the 1990s actually changed the whole ecosystem in ways that many of us probably would have never imagined. So outside of what we all obviously know about wolves, that they kill other animals for food, their introduction into Yellowstone actually helped improve populations of other animals. And the way that that happened was that the wolves basically changed the behaviors of deer throughout the park, and the deer had been basically destroying several ecosystems by grazing vegetation down to basically nothing. So by the wolves changing the behavior of the deer, the ecosystems in several areas of the park were actually able to regenerate themselves, and it actually went on to, over several years, affect the course of rivers because of the vegetation. The rivers didn't meander as much because the vegetation on the banks kept them in place. Anyways, I'm starting to ramble here, but it was a very interesting topic, and I think that George did a very good job at using examples throughout his presentation. And so the last video that I watched was one by an Elliot Cran, and it was The Mysteries of Chronic Pain. I think that's a topic that's probably interesting to quite a few people. I think that a lot of people suffer from chronic pain. I know that I watched it because I do, and so I was interested in seeing what Dr. Crane had to say about the topic. Um, he's a pediatrician and anesthesiologist, and as I said, I think that it's a topic that affects many people, and one really that a lot more people don't understand. Um, but as a doctor, I feel that Elliot used a lot of large words and kind of technical jargon, which made his presentation kind of hard to follow. I think that most listeners probably would have had a hard time due to the fact that they wouldn't have understood what he was uh, talking about. I mean, he did try and use some visual aids and other things to kind of get his ideas across on a more basic level, but I think overall uh, it would have been kind of difficult for anybody that wasn't a doctor or in the medical field in some capacity to really follow his presentation. So I don't feel that that was as good of a topic or as good of a presentation. The topic was very interesting, which is why I actually watched it. But I was disappointed. I thought that I would have gained more from that presentation. But so of the videos that I watched for this assignment, I feel that one was not the best. So, but I really had a good time watching the videos for this assignment. And like I said, I watched several other ones, and I will probably continue to watch the TED Talks as a source of information and entertainment. So, anyways, that's my presentation, and I hope that you all enjoyed it. Bye.